The younger son rewinds to the beginning of the speech, verse 18. He says, I will arise and go to my father, and I'll say to him, number one, Father, I've sinned against you in heaven. Number two, I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. And then number three, this is the request of the father. This is going to be the request when he gets to see his father. Treat me as one of your hired servants. Treat me as one of your hired servants. 3 ways to experience God's joy. The first one is take one step towards the Father. Take one step towards the Father. Look at verse 20. He arose. Verse 20 says, he arose, and he took one step. He went from thinking about it, from practicing a speech in his head, and he arose and he took a step towards the Father. Do you know when you're far away from God, that first step can be the hardest step to take? That when you're stuck in a field and your feet are sinking in the quicksand of sin and rebellion and greed and materialism and addiction and pornography, that first step, pulling your foot out of that quagmire, is the hardest step. But experiencing God's joy starts with one step. Maybe someone here today needs to take one step towards the Father. Experiencing the joy of the Father begins with one step of belief, one step of repentance, one step away from pride, one step towards the Father, one step away from addiction, and one step towards the Father. One step away from materialism and one step towards the Father. One step. What's your first step? What is it? What do you need to take a step of? Maybe a step of confession. Maybe a step of believing a promise of God. Maybe you need to take the step of finding an accountability partner. Maybe your next step is just simply showing up to church one more time next week. Maybe your next step would be admitting, I have no clue what my next step is. My first step, I have no clue. I've been stuck here so long, I don't know. Should I step forward? Should I step backward? Should I step left? Should I step right? I don't know. Maybe your first step that you need to take is to say, I don't know which way to step, and I need to find somebody that I can talk to, can help me figure out that first step.